Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Adriana, and on my channel I do share a lot about my happiness, my healing, and my health journey. Recently found out I am carrying twins and I've also been including that in my content as well. So if this is something you think that will be interesting to you, be sure to number one, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I post more videos. Now into today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys about the experiences that I've been having with my first trimester. And again, these are mine. They're not for everybody. I don't want to scare you or pretend like I'm a doctor. So that's the disclaimer. I'm not a medical professional. This is literally me sharing what's going on, doing my own research as well. So I haven't been running to the doctor. I've just been kind of going through these motions. So yes, I'm going to get into these. I have written them down and I'm just going to be going through them and just kind of elaborating on what I've been going through. And also I kind of wrote it down where it's like, these are like the most common, and I'm going to either tell you if I've had them or not. And so without further ado, let's get into the video. Right, so I just want to go over some household rules. First thing is that I'm going to be drinking, and I have to drink a gallon of water a day, if not a little bit more. So if I stop to take a drink, you know, fast forward if that bothers you, because I'm not editing it out. So that's the first thing. Of course, I told you I have to look down because I have my notes, and I happen to be living right across from where they're doing construction. So again, if that bothers you, sorry, but not sorry. It is what it is. Just try to focus in on the content, and hopefully it helps you and informs you and maybe entertains you. All right, so the first thing, and oh, one more thing. I actually tried to shoot this video like once or twice before this time. But the thing is, I was like, maybe I should wait on the last day of my 12 weeks so I can be like, oh, 13-week new trimester. So I'm like, let me just wait, because a couple of these, like a couple of days ago, were not going to be things that I experienced. But since I'm waiting for the last day, now they are on my list so I can elaborate a little bit more about what I'm experiencing. So the first one is cramping. Now for me, I haven't had any like period type of cramping when I walk, mainly outdoors, which is interesting, maybe because my strides are different than doing like smaller steps inside. But when I'm doing walking, it's more, I don't even want to call it cramping, maybe as more as pressure. So that only happens every once in a while with the cramping. I know with cramping though, they're like, you know, if there's no blood, if it's not happening enough, you know, you don't have to go to the doctor. This is my third pregnancy, so there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, it is what it is. I'm not concerned, and I'm able to just continue to push through and stop walking if it hurts, or take a warm bath. So I'm not too pressed about cramping, and it's not something that is happening all the time. So that's the first thing. The other one I've seen that seems to be popular is gas pain. It's about to be a TMI, but that's what I do. I don't care. It's my channel, right? So gas pain, no, but gas, yes. And it's not pleasant. It's really not pleasant. But I also had really bad gas with my daughter. Like my husband was ready to probably box me. Not really, he's not abusive or anything, but it was like, why does it smell like that? And then my daughter came out, and when she had gas, it was like, oh, you were the one causing your mom to, yeah. So not too much gas pain, but definitely gas. Not often, but when it comes, baby, you better clear the room. Round ligament pain. So maybe like round ligament pain maybe is more what I'm experiencing as opposed to like cramping. But again, very sporadic. Doesn't happen all the time. I'm still so, you know, early, like first trimester. So this could get, I don't say worse, but this can become a problem potentially in the second or third. And I do plan on providing updates in each trimester when it comes to these, and also updating if there is more second trimester like symptoms. Bloating, I haven't really felt bloating except for if I try to drink 2 bottles of water in an hour, because sometimes I just like, oh, you know, I'm kind of like putting around, and I realize, oops, got to get these done. So I may drink 2 bottles of water in an hour, not to exceed like 33.8 ounces. But that's the only time I seem bloated, but it doesn't seem like it's, you know, pregnancy related. As far as like the baby, it's just probably more of the water. Now I'm going to park it right here for a minute and talk about nausea. So I've had nausea since the beginning of the pregnancy, and it has gone through different stages. And I'm like, I didn't know nausea has so many different phases, levels, whatever, turns, whatever you want to say. So there is nausea where you feel like you don't want to eat and you're like blah to everything. Then you have nausea that ends up going into like throwing up. Then I've had nausea where it feels like something's stuck in my throat, and that if I cough or if I sneeze or anything, I'm going to be sick. What I experienced the last couple of days was almost like refluxes. And the nausea, at first I was like, it was just present. And I mean, it was so bad at first where when I would just think about food, I could literally go over the toilet and dry heave because it was like, ugh. And even hearing things like that chicken salad thing that was blown up on TikTok, they went to Instagram, all that other stuff like that, to me sounded so disgusting. Thinking about bread and certain fruits and vegetables, I was like, ugh, ugh. So it's gotten a little bit better. How I manage my nausea though and eating is, because here's the thing, in case you didn't know, it is possible to be nauseous and hungry at the same time. It sounds complicated, but it happens. So I'm like, well, I'm nauseous, but your girl, she has to eat. And not only for me, but for 2 other people. So, I realized that it's best for me to have like smaller meals. I usually have my vitamins in the morning with a meal in order to avoid any type of nausea associated with my prenatals, because sometimes certain prenatals will have you going to the bathroom anyway. But usually I do it on a full enough stomach where I'm good, and then I drink a bottle of water with it just to make sure it's enough in my stomach that it doesn't want to come back and retaliate. Now, as far as nausea moving forward, like the last 2 or 3 weeks, my nausea kind of was good in the morning, and then around 3 o'clock it would come back, and that's when it would be bad, because the couple times that I did get sick, which was actually probably 4 times, was always at nighttime. Now the only thing with the nausea though is I went to an appointment for my 10th week, and it was like more my intake appointment, and they told me, hey, you need to double up on your vitamins. And I was like, oh shoot, I didn't think about it, but it makes sense. So I started taking my vitamins at night. So the very first time that I upped it and did them in the morning and night was the very first time that I ended up getting sick. So I've kind of tried to kind of spread them out a little bit and kind of take maybe a couple at this time, a couple at this time. But since I'm eating so often, I can like have these 2 with a snack and maybe these ones with like a meal. So I'm kind of managing my nausea. And it kind of goes in and out. Like right now it is 117 and I'm pretty cool. I'm neutral. I don't feel blah, but I also feel like I could eat something. So that's pretty good. Next one is exhaustion and feeling fatigue. Now, here's the thing. Fatigue can be tricky because sometimes you feel fatigue just because like it's a lot of changes going on with your body. But a lot of melanated women are oftentimes fatigued because of their iron, and a lot of times they're anemic. I am anemic. So when it comes to my iron, especially during pregnancy, if I am not on it, fatigue is like, hey. So I've learned to be on top of my iron. So honestly, I was like so excited that like through a lot of my first trimester, and even now, I took a walk and everything, 45-minute walk with my daughter, still wake up twice in the middle of the night to eat a snack. I still have a lot of energy. I think I get tired at night when I'm supposed to, but exhaustion is not something that overcomes me. And when I do get tired, I think it does come from waking up in the middle of the night, having to go to the bathroom or having my snack, or if I decide to have an aggressive exercise, because they're like, do 30 minutes, I may do 40, or I may do like 40 and it's like high impact the entire time. But outside of that, exhaustion is not something that has been knocking at my door. So I guess my iron has been good too. So this one here, headaches. Here's the thing. Headaches are so annoying to me, and I don't know, because again, I'm not a doctor. I'll keep saying that, but I got my wisdom teeth pulled when I was 18, and it was like every headache after that, and it's still to this day, and that was like 11 years ago. It's like I get headaches, and it's always on my right side, and it's not only just on my right side, it's literally from the top of my head all the way down to this cheekbone here and back, and sometimes my neck and mid back. It's just like a whole right side of the body like headache. But for that, what I've been doing is sometimes if I don't drink enough water, I already know I'm getting a headache. And unfortunately, even if I hurry up and drink a gallon of water that day, it's probably going to take to the next day. So what I've been doing to manage that was just basically taking a hot shower and just letting the water kind of fall on my neck, or kind of like rubbing myself, or have a heating pad, or my husband rubs my back and my neck and stuff like that. But you know, headaches, they come and go. But also I realize and I'm going to get into that next, with the congestion, I think it's a lot of pressure, again, only on that side, and it causes the headache. So maybe I've had 3 or so headaches within the whole trimester. That's another thing when I think I'm really tired as well. With the exhaustion, headaches can come, but they're not all day, every day. They don't hurt all the time. And it doesn't cause for me to like call the doctor like, oh my goodness, I have headaches. Because I know sometimes headaches are associated with like high blood pressure or preeclampsia. But if I take the time to realize how I'm feeling at that moment and can reevaluate my day before, or even the day that I'm having the headache, I can go, oops, I didn't drink enough water, or oops, I probably am tired, or I'm using my mind too much. So that's pretty much that. Now congestion, I want to talk about that a little bit, because congestion is new for me. I've never experienced congestion in my previous pregnancies, and I've had winter babies, so that was different. And so I did have a cold, and now here we are like weeks later, and I still struggle with like my nose and, you know, mucus waking up and just ugh. But I also know, to be honest, mucus comes from the type of food that you eat. So I kind of understand the congestion a little bit, but it's like lingering, and that's kind of what's making it frustrating. But as I sit here today, right now, I feel pretty clear. It just seems to happen at night. If I get too hot, if I go to people's houses that are too stuffy, it brings it back, and then I'm struggling. And then it's like I have nausea plus congestion. Then when I try to blow my nose, there's blood. So that's the next symptom, and that is like a bloody nose. I never had a bloody nose, but yet every time I blow my nose, like there's blood, and it's like a lot. And my husband's like, stop blowing your nose so hard. I'm like, I'm not blowing my nose any harder than I normally do, but again, there's more blood pumping in your body. So just FYI, bloody noses, period, can be a part of pregnancy and not anything to worry about. But again, if you are concerned, because there's a whole bunch, then, you know, call your doctor. But for me, it's just every once in a while when I blow, there's blood, and I just, you know, do what I got to do. And then lastly, back pain. I can't say that I have any back pain at all, not yet. Now again, we're just about to enter the second trimester, and my belly is not huge at all. So I think with maybe more weight that way, potentially, or if I'm not wearing the right shoes, if I'm taking walks and stuff like that, I can see if it may be something different. But right now it's been super relieved, and I'm cool now. I haven't stood up super long, haven't sat in a chair that was uncomfortable super long, so I have not yet experienced back pain, and I'm grateful. Now, before I go, I'm going to show you guys a book that I've been looking at in regards to pregnancy. But before I go, I want to tell you this thing. If there's any symptoms on here that I have addressed that, you know, you've experienced, please, I would love to hear about it in the comments. If there's something that I missed and you're like, yo, I can't believe in the first trimester you have not experienced this, I'll be interested to know too, because I know that there could be more, but with it being my last day, I feel like I'm pretty much over the hump. I know nausea can continue. Some people are nauseous the entire pregnancy. I know there's a lot of relief within the second pregnancy. I feel like they feel like that's the golden trimester where everything kind of like levels out. So yes, I want to tell you a little bit about this book that I got on Amazon, and it's a holistic guide to a twin pregnancy. Reason I got this book is I did a video and it should be coming out soon. It's probably going to be out by the time this video is posted, but as a melanated mom, and even though these are not melanated babies, I was just looking for like a holistic type of pregnancy approach that gave me, you know, a different look and approach to pregnancy. And so it was like $11 and I'm halfway through it, but it has so much great information. And so what I think I'm going to do is once I'm done reading this book, I may just do like a book review, because if you are a twin mama yourself, you probably already have experienced that there's not a lot of information out there in regards to twin pregnancy, which is borderline depressing because it makes you think like it's so far-fetched and doesn't happen often, though it does. So I think that if you have a chance and you trust getting books on Amazon, because I know sometimes books on Amazon can be backwards, upside down, missing pages, then I'd say it's worth it. So far, everything's in order. There's nothing missing, and it's a really great read. Her paragraphs are very, manageable. I'll show you. The lines are a good size. She has like titles, subtitles, all that great stuff, or subheadings in it. So I'm excited to finish it. It's giving me a lot to think about in regards to pregnancy, but I feel like in general you want to be informed and not ignorant, because you want to know like what's the best for you and your baby. So if you're looking for a good read, start here. There are other books out there that I do plan on purchasing. Again, if there's one that you know of that I didn't mention besides this, please put it in the comments. I would love to look at the reviews and possibly purchase it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to hear about my first trimester, symptoms and all of that. And I hope if you are watching with pregnant and you're pregnant with twins as well, congratulations, power to you. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. All right, guys, before you go though, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Love and light.